Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narotamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jaya Mudiraye. We're reading from the Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 69, Narada visits Krishna's palaces. The text today is number 39. Anujanihi Mam Deva Anujanihi Mam Deva Lokams Te Yashasa Plutan Lokans Te Yashasa Plutan Paryatami Tavodgayan Paryatami Tavodgayan Lila Bhuvana Pavanihi Lila Bhuvana Pavanihi Anujanihi Mam Deva Lokams Te Yashasa Plutan Paryatami Tavodgayan Lila Bhuvana Pavanihi Anujanihi Mam Deva Lokams Te Yashasa Plutan Paryatami Tavodgayan Lila Bhuvana Pavanihi Anujanihi Mam Deva Lokams Te Yashasa Plutan Paryatami Tavodgayan Lila Bhuvana Pavanihi Anujanihi Mam Deva Lokams Te Yashasa Plutan Paryatami Tavodgayam Lila Bhuvana Pavanihi Anujanihi Mam Deva Lokans Te Yashasa Plutan Paryatami Tavodgayam Lila Bhuvana Pavani. Vaishnavis. Anujanihi Mam Deva Lokans Te Yashasa Plutan Paryatami Tavodgay Lila Bhuvana Pavanihi. Unamas. Moichido Kudasai. Ek or. No? Anujanihi. Please give leave. Mam, to me. Deva, O Lord. Lokan, the worlds. Te, your. Yashasa, with the fame. Aplutan, flooded. Paryatami, I will wander. Tava, your. Udgayan, loudly singing. Lila, the pastimes. Bhuvana, all the planetary systems. Pavanihi, which purify. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. O Lord, please give me your leave. I will wander about the worlds which are flooded with your fame, loudly singing about your pastimes, which purify the universe. Please repeat. O Lord, please give me your leave. I will wander about the worlds which are flooded with your fame, loudly singing about your pastimes, which purify the universe. Purport. Even Narada Muni was bewildered to see Lord Krishna's amazing pastimes as a human being. Therefore, with the words, Anu Janihi Mam Deva, he requests permission to return to his normal service of traveling and preaching. Inspired by what he has seen, he wants to preach widely the glories of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna. Om Jnana-timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Nena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadapayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Uta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagrajata Sahagana Ragnatham Vitam Tham Sajivam Sadvetam Sadvatutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakanvitamscha Namaum Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Namaum Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Tinamine Shri Varshabhana Videvi Daitaya Kripabdaye Krishna Sambandha Vijnana Taine Prabhave Namaha Madhuryo Jvala Premadya Shri Rupanuga Bhaktida Shri Gaura Karuna Shakti Vigrahaya Namostute Namaste Gauravani Shri Murtaye Dinatarine Rupanuga Virudhapa Siddhanta Dvanta Harine Namo Gaura Kishoraya Sakshad Vairagya Murtaye Vipralamba Rasambode Padambu Jayate Namaha Namo Bhakti Vinodaya Sakchidananda Namine Gaura Shakti Swarupaya Rupanuga Varayate Gaura Virvava Bomestvam Nirdesa Sajjana Priya Vaishnava Sarvabhoma Shri Jagannathaya Te Namaha Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Mahavaranyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gaura Tvishe Namaha Pancha Tattvadmakam Krishnam Bhakta Rupa Swarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Jayatam Surato Pangor Mama Manda Matirkati Matsarva Swapadambo Jao Radha Madana Mohano Divya Vrindaranya Kalpadrumadha Srimad Ratnakara Singhasanasto Srimad Radha Shila Govinda Devo Preshtali Bhi Sevyamano Smarami Shriman Rasarasarambi Vamshi Vatatatatastitaha Karshan Venu Swanir Gopir Gopinatha Shriyestunaha Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vrindayai Tulsi Devyai Priyayai Keshavasya Cha Vishnu Bhakti Prade Devi Satavatai Namo Namaha Shri Nishinga Jai Nishinga Jai Jai Narasingha Pralada Desha Jaya Padma Mukha Padma Bringa Yada Yada Hi Dharmasya Glanir Bhavati Bharata Abhutanam Adharmasya Tadatmanam Sajamyaham Pitranaya Sadhunam Vinashaya Chaduskritam Dharma Samstapanartaya Sambhavami Yuge Yuge Manmana Bhavamad Bhakto Madhyaji Mam Namaskuru Mami Vaishasi Yukvaivam Atmanam Matparayanaha Sarvadharman Parityaja Mamekam Sharanam Vraja Ahang Tvam Sarva Papebhyo Moksha Ishami Masujaha Shushushro Shadadhanasya Vasudeva Kataruchi Syan Mahat Sevaya Vipra Punyatirtha Nishevanat Shinvatam Swakata Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtana Hridyantaksto Hibhadrani Vidunoti Suritsatam Nashta Praeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Utama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki Tadarajas Bhava Kamalo Baddayaschaye Chaitaitaranavidham Stitam Sattve Prasidati Evam Prasanna Manaso Bhagavad Bhakti Yogataha Bhagavat Tattva Vijnanam Tasangas Jayate Vidyate Hridaya Grantish Chichante Sarva Samshaya Shyante Chasacharmani Drishta Evat Manishvare Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Anujani Himam Deva Lokam Ste Yashasha Plutan Paryatami Tavodgayan Lila Bhuvana Pavanihi. O Lord, please give me your leave. I will wander about the worlds which are flooded with your fame, loudly singing about your pastimes, which purify the universe. It is a great pleasure and an honor to be here at the Chowpatty Temple. It's always a life-changing event, coming and seeing you all here. This is the place from which so much Ananda is emanating and going all over the world. So thank you for generating so much Ananda and letting the waves wash across the planet Earth. That's what you're doing, you know. Just thought I'd let you know. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. I'm very happy to be here today with my very dear old friend and god brother, Bhima Prabhu, who is one of my mentors and has been an example of a great follower of Srila Prabhupada throughout his whole career. And when he told me he was coming with us this morning, I was feeling some ecstasy. It's my main happiness in life these days, is having association with my god brothers, especially from the old days. Hare Krishna. This verse today is something that's very practical, and that we see that Narada Muni has experienced something, he's tasted something very nice. And now he wants to go and distribute it. This is the hallmark or the basic principle of the Krishna Consciousness movement. It's actually very simple. There seem to be a lot of moving parts, but it's very simple. And it's expressed in the Adi Lila, 7th chapter, in where Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is encountering Prakashananda Saraswati and explaining about how he and the Panchatattva are tasting something that is indescribable. It's intoxicating, in fact. And after tasting it again and again, they go out and distribute it because there's an overflow. Anandam Buddhi Vardhanam. Recently, I just finished a book about book distribution. In the midst of it, I was interviewing a devotee who knew a lot of the history of a particular period and time, period and place. And the more I listened to him, the more I felt I needed to rewrite the book because there was more and more to say. And that kept happening to me. And I was bewildered by it. Because sometime or other you have to finish something that you're writing. You can't just keep writing forever. At least that's what my editors kept telling me. And so I was standing there in a perplexed state. It was at the Los Angeles temple. I was standing in line at the Govinda's restaurant. And I was explaining to somebody how the more I heard about these pastimes of the early days of Krishna consciousness expanding, the more I knew I had to write about and how I was feeling overwhelmed. And I didn't know he was standing nearby, but he said, he inserted into the conversation, he said, "This is the Anandam Buddhi Vardhanam. You've been washed away by it." And so Narada Muni in this verse, of course you all know the history because you've been listening to these classes successively, is getting near the end of the chapter, but he's gone to see Krishna in Dwarka, and there he went from one palace to the next and saw Krishna engaged in one very sweet activity after another. The amazing thing was that each palace was a unit unto itself, and Krishna was performing a different pastime in each place. He had expanded himself. Diparchareva hita shantanamabhyapetya dipayate vrvate hetu samana dharma. Yas tadrageva hicha vishnu chaya vibhati govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. Krishna, like the original candle, and he can expand into so many other candles. But in this case, Krishna is the original Krishna, and he was there present within all the different palaces, some places playing dice, some places playing with his kids, riding on his back, other places making strategy. And Narada Muni became jubilant and overwhelmed by seeing Krishna in all these places. And now he goes to Krishna and he says that, "May I have your leave?" And where's he going? Out to spread Krishna's glories even more. He's going out to speak about him. And so the first aspect of the Krishna consciousness movement is that one hears about Krishna in the association of devotees and chants Krishna's names. And within that process of hearing and chanting, one will taste something extraordinary. In fact, by hearing and chanting about Krishna, if one can taste even one drop of the happiness, of the spiritual internal potency from that hearing and chanting, one has enough to distribute to the whole city of Bombay. If you get just one drop, actually that one drop can go further. It can go to the entire subcontinent of India. Actually even further. It will go all over Asia. If you have this one drop of chanting Hare Krishna. Actually, it will go further than that. Across the Indian Ocean, it will expand into Europe, and then it will, like a tidal wave, push on into the United States, to Australia, down into Africa. Where else is there? One drop, tasting one drop of this happiness. Therefore, Bhaktivedanta Thakur, in his poem, in his song about Lord Gauranga singing the Hare Krishna mantra, says, Ek bar nam rashe matore. One time, try to get this taste. Just one time. One should try for this. So we spend our time trying to get this one drop. And if one tastes that, then it's natural that one will want to tell others, because the individual living entity has a very special role to play. The jiva is an appreciator, and Krishna is the supreme appreciated. We are appreciators, and Krishna is the appreciated. And that's our job. That's all we have to do, is to appreciate Krishna. And all Krishna has to do is be Krishna, because he's completely appreciable. Everything about him is sweet. In fact, there's songs about that. Madhuram, Madhuram, Vaparasya Vibhor, Madhuram, Madhuram, Varanam, Madhuram. The poets who have actually tasted something of Krishna consciousness, they're singing over again, it's sweet, it's sweet, it's sweet, it's really sweet. Everything about Krishna is sweet. Just take some of that sweetness. And so the devotees, they'll taste it, and they'll go out and distribute it, and they give it to others. And now, one thing about appreciation, there's an old saying that whatever you appreciate, appreciates. Just as when you put money in the bank, you're looking for, what are you looking for? To lose all your money? What are you looking for? How much appreciation am I going to get on what return on my investment? This is called appreciation on your investment, right? So there's an old saying, whatever you appreciate, yeah, you got to be a little more enthusiastic. Whatever you appreciate, appreciates. Whatever you appreciate, appreciates. And you'll notice in this in your life, the things that you give your attention to out of gratitude, out of appreciation, they'll grow in your life. And actually, Voltaire once said that whatever we appreciate in others, the good qualities, we will assume ourselves. They'll enter into our hearts. We'll be able to take those on. And this is something Queen Kunti talks about, Shrinvanti Gayanti, Grananti Sadhava. Grananti means, in one translation, to appreciate the devotional service of others, to appreciate Krishna, and so forth. So by that, one takes on those qualities, and one's capacity to appreciate expands. Every living entity has an appreciating capacity. An appreciating capacity. What do they have? Yeah. Some living entities' appreciating capacity is very small. But when we come to the human form of life, we can expand our appreciating capacity unlimitedly. What blocks it is matsarya, envy. And matsarya means the inability to tolerate the eminence of another. But devotees have this freedom from matsarya and the ability to appreciate, and they expand their appreciating capacity. And as they do, they have so much overflow that they go out to distribute to others. And this is the process of Krishna consciousness. In the 11th canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam, there's a famous verse which was given by Srila Ishvara Puri to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu when he took initiation. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had received the holy name and the mantra, from his spiritual master, and he began the process, and he came back to his spiritual master and said, "This is too much. Whatever you've given me, it's making me mad. Is this correct, that I should feel so overwhelmed? There's such an expansion of what you've given me that I'm going actually crazy." And the spiritual master said, very good, this is it. You're getting it. And then he said, Evam vratasva priyanama kiritya jatanurago jitachuta uchaya hasatyato rautiti rauti gayati unmanavat nrittiti lokabhayaha. He said that when one takes this Krishna consciousness process, chanting Hare Krishna, evam vrata, with a vow that this is the primary goal of life. Evam vrata sva priyanama kirta. Then the particular name of Krishna becomes very dear to that person, becomes his main object in life. He's tasting it. Evam vrata sva priyanama kirtya jatan rago drita chuta uchar. Then the chitta becomes druta, melted. The heart begins to soften and then melt. Hasatu rotiti rotigaiti. Then he'll dance and sing in public without considering outsiders. He becomes like a madman. Unmadavan nrittiti lokabayaha. Doesn't care what anybody else thinks. So in the purport to that verse, Madhvacharya says in his commentary that some Vaishnavas will exhibit ecstatic symptoms because of coming in contact with the holy name of Krishna and the overwhelming feeling they have developed within their hearts. And others don't exhibit any symptoms. And some exhibit symptoms sometimes, and other times don't exhibit symptoms. Mixed. He said, but all of the devotees who are advanced exhibit two qualities. One is steadiness. They're always available for their service. They go on despite the obstacles. And the other is mukya prasada, which means that whatever comes out of their mouth is meant for the betterment of others. Mukya prasada. Isn't that nice? It's prasad from the mouth. They have something so nice that when they speak, because their heart is devoid of the propensity to criticize others, no more matsarya, they're only distributing that realization of Krishna in various ways, practical ways, and also by speaking about Krishna as well. But it's for the benefit of everybody. So these two qualities come out of the devotee who has become advanced in devotional service. And that becomes the preoccupation of one who's touched by the holy name, by hearing in the association of devotees, by practicing devotional service, him or herself, goes on steadily. So this is a verifiable way in which one can see that a person is advancing in devotional service. These two things. So one other point, and then do we have a microphone that goes around? That you pass around so we can hear? So I'll just make one other point and then we'll take some reflections. And that is that this verse mentions Narada Muni. He's saying, the verse says that he asked for leave. He wants to go and talk about Krishna and keep spreading Krishna consciousness. Then he says, the verse says, he wants to do it by loudly singing about his pastimes, which purify the universe. Loudly singing. So, singing and dancing, there's really no earthly reason for it. Doesn't make you any money. I mean, sometimes people think in practical terms, what good is that? In fact, somebody once said, why worship Tulsi? Why not grow eggplant instead? This is representative of the kind of idea. You have to be pragmatic in this world. What's the use of singing and dancing? In the Sri Brahma Samhita, in the purport to the verse, Anandam Buddhivar, Ananda Chinmaya Rasa Pratibhavitabis. Everyone knows that purport by heart, right? About 50 pages. It's a description of all the arts and crafts that go on in the spiritual world. Making of flower garlands, learning musical instruments, aesthetics. And they're beautiful things that go on. What use is that practically? In fact, all the universities now, what's the use of a liberal arts education? We need engineering. We need O's and, what is it? O's and ones? Ones and zeros? They all go together. binary stuff. But what comes out from the process of Krishna consciousness is this dancing. Sriya kanta kanta parama purusha kalpataravo druma bhumish chintamani ghanamayi toyam amritam kataganam natyam gamanam api vamshi priyasaki chidanandam jyoti paramapi taraswadyam api cha sayatra shirabi sravati surabi vyasha suman nimeshadyakyo vavrajati naya nahi atrapi samayaha Vajay Shvetadipam Tamahamiha Galokamitiyam Vidantaste Shantakshiti Virlachara Katipaye. It's a description of how the residents in Goloka are dancing and they're singing. And in this world, people move around because they're in debt. They have to drive on the freeway, they have to go to work, they have to get an education. In fact, when a little baby's born, in fact, before a baby's born, the parents are sitting there planning about how he's going to work. So they save up a college fund. At least they do this in America. Before the baby's born, they get a little college fund going because it costs a lot of money to go to college these days. And as soon as baby comes out of the womb, they say, okay, welcome, get ready because you're going to work hard. Because you've got a debt from your last life. You're just coming back into it right now, so get ready. Devarshi bhutapna nrinam pitrinam nakinkaronayam nrani charajan. So there's a debt. He has a debt to everybody. Nice news when you're just born, right? Comes out, welcome, Schnicky. You're going to have to work hard. In fact, we're sending you to college. Why? Because you're in debt. You got to work hard and pay. But in the spiritual world, they don't do that. They dance. They dance and sing. Dancing and singing is special. To be able to sing from the core of your heart, to sing out, just out of appreciation for the fact that you've been given a chance to sing the glories of Krishna. No other reason. It's causeless. You just, Hare Krishna. You know, there's happiness coming. And dancing, what's the use of that? It's not very practical. But that's what happens. The verse says, all these verses say that that's the result when one tastes something very sweet. So Narada is saying the same thing. I've seen that something so wonderful. Now I'm going to go out and I'm going to sing and dance. So again, going back to what I said at the beginning, this is the Krishna consciousness movement. So we come and just experience this taste. We taste what it is, what Krishna consciousness is contact with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Through the mantra, you can have complete experience of Krishna, just as Narada Muni had experience by walking around and seeing the palaces. There's a verse in the 5th chapter of the first canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam in which it's described how one can have full darshan of Krishna through the mantra. And then we naturally go out and share it with as many people as possible. And there are many different ways to deliver it, but in delivering the mantra and the other kinds of information about the spiritual world, it also expands. Because when you give it to other people and you see its effect on them, then you experience it again, vicariously, again and again, every time you give it to someone, and you see how it affects them. Sometimes, not sometimes, but all the time when we distribute books, we sell a book and then we say, do you believe in the power of prayer? Do you all believe in the power of prayer? But not very much, right? You believe in the power of prayer? Yes. But just a little bit, right? Do you believe in the power of prayer? Yes. That's about a 2 on a scale of 1 to 10. Do you believe in the power of prayer? Yes. That's what they say, too, when we meet them. They say, yes. And if they say no, then we say, good, we'll teach you a mantra. So we have the Hare Krishna prayer written down on a card, right? As you all do. And then we say, okay, I'm going to teach you this prayer. And we hand them a card. And we say, repeat after me. You ready? So you don't give them time to think, because they say, well, maybe not. So say, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna. Hare Hare. Hare Rama. Hare Rama. Rama Rama. Hare Hare. So they hear the mantra, and Krishna's in the mantra. One lady, I taught this to her, she goes, what is it? And I told her, it's the mantra. It's meant to wake up pure love for God within your heart. We were on a street corner distributing books. She stayed around for about an hour practicing the mantra. She kept coming over. Am I doing it right? Is this right? They kept saying the mantra. Then you meet other people. Like sometimes I meet a couple, and I'll say, are you ready? And the guy will go, yeah. And then he's about to, I say, Hare Krishna, and the wife says, don't do it. Larry, don't do it. Stop. And I said, what's the matter? He says, I don't know, but just don't do it. It's like she knows there's something in it. Or it could be the other way. So many times we say, get ready to chant. She said, no, I don't want to do it. I can't do it. I said, why don't we want you to do it? I don't know what it is. So we don't know what it is either. We're looking into it. And they're on to something. They're on, it's mentioned that this chanting of Hare Krishna, this coming in contact with Krishna, the gopis were telling the flute, so how'd you get in this dangerous cult? And so when I see that, I see people chanting the mantra and then suddenly they feel happy, or they say, I don't want to chant it because I don't know what's going to happen to me. I start thinking, whoa, there's something powerful I have here. See, when you give things out, when you share them with others, you get feedback from the environment. And then again and again, your realization is reinforced. You have to distribute. You have to take in. It's like breathing. You take in the oxygen and then you breathe out the carbon dioxide. So in a temple community too, inside we hear and chant, but you have to go out and then you distribute it. And then you get something special when you give it to other people. You get that reciprocation, both internally and externally, and then you bring it back in. And that's when the community becomes combustible, it becomes nourished, oxygenated with this exchange. Now we'll take some reflection. Reflection means one thing that you heard so far that's stuck in your mind. Where's the mic? One thing that you're taking away in your pocket. Just quick idea. One thing that you heard that was something you can use that's valuable. There, Bhima. Please run them back the mic as quickly as you can.
This word, or two words, Mukhya Prasad, that anything that comes from a person's mouth benefits the person that hears it. So is that something that it just happens at a stage of development, or is it something we should try to work at?
Well, Srila Prabhupada says that even a neophyte who believes that the holy name and Krishna are non-different can convert others to Vaishnavism. There's a special quality in them because of that shraddha. Their heart's in it. And whatever your heart's into comes out. Whatever's in your heart comes out. And if one is a beginner, and maybe not perfect, but has this simple faith, pure faith, that Krishna and his name are non-different, then the vibration that person makes, following the disciplic succession, repeating out of faith what he or she has heard, will have an effect on people, will touch their hearts also. At advanced stages, as mentioned in the Upadeshamrita, Krishneti yasya giritam manasadriyeta dikshasti chet prantidivisha bhajantamisham shushushaya bhajana vignamananyamanya nindari shunya ridamipsita sangalabhya. The most advanced devotees have freedom from the propensity to criticize others. It's a state of heart in which one has that burden of envy has been lifted. So that person's at liberty to speak in such a way as to assist others. But even in the beginning, those who are attending to the process of Krishna consciousness out of faith will be effective. And yes, we should also cultivate it, because we are practicing the yoga of the tongue. And yoga begins with the tongue, right? Can you prove it? Huh? Okay, prove it. No, prove it with the Sanskrit. Somebody prove that yoga begins with the tongue. Huh? Sevam mukhi jivado. Atashi krishnanamadina bhaved grayam indriyai. Sevam mukhi jivado swayameva sprati. It begins with the tongue. So, if one practices austerities of speech, as Krishna recommends in the Bhagavad Gita, and carefully speaks to people in ways that are truthful, pleasing, beneficial, avoiding speech that offends, and always reciting the Vedas every day, regularly reciting the Vedas, it'll have a great effect. More reflections. One thing you heard that stuck in your mind. Give him the microphone, please.
You spoke the...
That's good. Just hold it really close.
You spoke the first thing of steadfastness. Is it equanimity?
What's that?
What is that actually? Steadfastness means in spite of troubles that come into you, the happiness that you come to you, it is equanimity.
Yeah.
What do you mean by steadfastness?
Steadfastness. It's the ability to continue the practice of Krishna consciousness despite the many distractions and obstacles that you meet within your life. And they're inevitable. But one who has this realization that the most important aspect of my life is my practice of Krishna consciousness, will become flexible in the face of various obstacles, and will go on practicing Krishna consciousness.
When the obstacles really big comes, you tend to lose your faith. So, then you still go on praying Krishna, but he is very slow.
Slow or fast, he has his own time frame. Krishna knows better than we do about what good timing means. I'm impatient, and children sometimes are impatient. True or false? True? Yeah. Children are impatient. Those who don't have wisdom or a wider perspective, Krishna is the most wise. And he's also our best well-wisher. And he knows when the timing is right. I may misinterpret things that come to me from the environment. Destiny is Krishna speaking to me. And I may misinterpret them because I have my own idea about what should happen. But when the universe moves against me, then there's an opportunity, great opportunity, to realign myself and understand that it's Krishna's will. I once was gardening in my backyard where I live in California, and a little bird flew into my house through the open window. So I went inside to free the bird because I thought not a good place for a wild bird to be in the house. And I went in the kitchen and I said, "Little bird, I'm going to let you out." And I opened the other window, and he became frightened and flew into the next room. So I opened the windows in the next room. And he was now becoming more terrified because I was chasing after him. So he went to the next 3 rooms. Each room I came in and I opened all the windows. And they made a little noise opening. So he became frightened. He came all the way back to the kitchen where he had flown in. And I saw his eyes. He looked at me right before he flew out. terrified. You tried to kill me, but I'm getting away somehow or other. And after he flew away, I was thinking, I'm like that little bird. Krishna's opening windows here and there to give me opportunity to fly away free. And I think, oh, he's trying to kill me. And I'm terrified of all these circumstances that come. But with some wisdom, by association with sadhus, those who actually have a clear idea that the only purpose in life is to attain Krishna consciousness. When you associate with devotees like that, and you live your life out through the various phases. There will be different phases in each, there are phases in life. And each one requires a certain challenge. And if you go on practicing Krishna consciousness through the different phases of your life, then you can get some wisdom, perspective. It's natural. And in the Sri Upanishad, Vidyam cha vidyam chayas tadvedo bayam saha avidyayam ratum tirtva vidyayam ratum ashnite. Knowledge and transcendental, nescience and transcendental knowledge side by side, when cultivated, bring one to perfection of life. Okay, couple more. Means reflection. Reflect back to me, please. Be a little generous. Give back anything you heard so far from the class, purport, or anything else. Feed it back. But you got to go fast because we don't have much time left. Yes?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, you were just talking about the...
Hold that right against your chin there.
Yeah. You are talking about the symptoms, symptoms of advanced devotee. Some can show, some can not show, some can sometimes show, sometimes shows. But Bhagavad Gita is in first chapter, Arjuna is showing the symptom, Viparticha Shriman, Roma Harshasya Jayate, that shloka. And Prabhupada mentioned in purport that there are ecstasy symptoms given in two ways, advanced devotee and ecstasy symptoms given because of fear. The same happens when Hiranyakashipu was performing austerities and Brahma came and sprinkled some water. When Brahma sprinkled some water, Hiranyakashipu showed the symptoms, ecstatic symptoms that times. So how can we discriminate between the symptoms of the advanced devotee and symptoms shown by the fearful person or passionate persons?
You have to watch what they do in their life. Because ultimately whatever's in the heart comes out in one's daily life, in one's work. And you can just see, what do people do? What is their track record and how do they go forward? People can say all kinds of things. I think this, I'm going to do that. But people who show up and do things, then you start to take them seriously. And people can cry and make noise and all kinds of things. But until they actually show up and do things, you vote with your feet in life. You vote when you show up and you actually get it done. You don't have to say anything. You don't have to advertise. That is ecstasy. Prabhupada's getting on a boat with no money and coming to America to fulfill the order of his spiritual master. That's ecstasy. You have to feel ecstasy in your heart to do something like that. You have to feel that taste to go out and do these kinds of things. So you have to look and see, what do people do? They may say this, they may cry, but we don't take it seriously unless they actually carry it out and go on. Huh? Yes?
I saw a problem and an
Hold
answer.
it right against your chin.
I saw a problem and an answer in the class. The problem is envy, and the answer is appreciation.
Appreciation, yeah. Envy blocks all good qualities from entering our heart. Mahatma Prabhu, the inimitable Mahatma Das Prabhu, he always also says, when you're trying to learn something, there's a mantra that blocks all learning. You know what it is? I know that. I already know that. I know that. Because I don't want to listen. Not open. What else? Two more reflections. Something you heard. Yes.
Appreciation appreciates.
Yeah.
That's a very nice point to mention.
Whatever you appreciate, appreciates. Grows in your life. And we're little appreciators. That's what we do. One more. Yes, Mataji. Pass it back as quick as you can.
A drop of taste for the mantra we are chanting can benefit the entire world.
Yeah, it overflows. It grows. You get one drop from the Anandam Buddhivardhanam, you have that, and it'll expand. And the more you distribute it, the more it grows.
I wanted to know how we can...
Hold that right against your chin.
How can you put some light on it? Like, suppose if somebody has a taste, then how does he benefits the world?
Well, first of all, if somebody has a taste for chanting Hare Krishna, then they will be an example for others, because their life will be carried along by their practice of devotional service. And then if they happen to be generous and they go out and distribute to others, then people become touched. When devotees go around and they meet people, or even if they don't go around, if they stay in and they set an example for people and they live in a Krishna conscious way, it has a great effect on the world. One person can change the world. The quality of one person. I always think of Dhruva Maharaj, who was so determined, and even though he had little motivation, he was so steadfast in his practice. It's mentioned that he was able to choke up the whole universe, not just the world, the whole universe, by his practice. And there, Prabhupada says in a purport that a pure devotee can affect the whole world by his or her practice of Krishna consciousness. And there's a different vibration that comes from somebody whose heart becomes pure and who's practicing Krishna consciousness. And it's the only vibration that the world needs. Everyone's vibrating something out there. And the vibration is making people ill. It's making the whole planet ill, actually. I've just been noticing more and more how the whole planet is becoming an ecological disaster area. But nobody can stop. People can't help themselves. I was just on the airplane and they come around at the end and they collect. This is after a 2-hour flight, and they collect a whole bag of cups, and there's thousands of flights that go out, and they just throw those out in the environment. This is a result of the wrong vibration going out in the world. So some person who has the right vibration has a meritorious effect on the whole world. What to speak of, the purpose of the Krishna conscious movement is to organize in such a way that we can distribute that vibration to as many people as possible. One of the ways that Prabhupada emphasized was book distribution. Books are containers, and they contain seeds from the spiritual world. And when they go out, they always have an effect. It's not that sometimes they have an effect. It's not that sometimes it's a strategy that works and sometimes it always works. Because there are seeds from the spiritual world, the sound vibration that's coming from Goloka. It's there within the book. And when it goes out, people pick it up, they read it, they become affected by it. So how can one person have a huge effect? Distribute books. Or they go out and they teach others about Krishna consciousness. And one after another, that changes the vibration in the world, and the people get the ultimate benefit in life. It's a great occupation. All of you are so lucky to have this lifestyle that all you have to do is taste Krishna consciousness. Do your utmost to taste Krishna consciousness by regularly hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. How regularly? At least read the whole Bhagavatam once a year. Or at least every 5 years if you're really busy at this time in your life. If you read 8 pages a day, you'll finish the whole Bhagavatam in 5 years. And you're going to be 5 years older in 5 years anyway, so you might as well read 8 pages a day and become a great saint in 5 years, rather than just working hard like everybody else. And if you read 41 pages of Bhagavatam a day, which is not really very difficult, you'll finish the whole Bhagavatam in a little under a year, but 6 days less than a year. And devotees who do this kind of thing, they have a huge effect on the environment. Just as materialistic people, they pollute the whole world because of their very presence and by their output. People who are reading whole Bhagavatam every year, all they can do is distribute nectar everywhere they go. So that's our job. Take in as much as you can and then distribute it. Think in ways in which to distribute it to as many people as possible. It's an emergency situation. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, even 500 years ago, said it's an emergency, everybody's deputized. He said, every one of you become guru. It doesn't discriminate. Whatever it is, you become guru and you go out and you give it to as many people as possible. Because it's an emergency, Kali Yuga. We have to think in ways to distribute to as many people as possible, as quickly as possible. And these are the two things. Try to taste it, and then give it out to as many people as possible. And both those things grow as we do them. Om Tat Sat. Vanchakalpaturvascha kripasnabhevacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha gopremanande hari hari bo nitai gaura hari bo hari bo hari bo nitai gaura hari bo Haribo Nitai Gauda Haribo Gopremanande Hare Krishna.